Last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Are you in doubt?
Well, you were in the Senate, you would know better than...
Yeah. You are Kenyan, you will know better.
So you have taken us to the lowest point as senators and
No, not as senators.
our leaders.
No.
Okay.
The previous regime had taken this country, and that, truth be told, has taken this country to the bottomless pit.
You do know when you say that, huh?
Yeah.
That particular government that you speak of
Yeah.
was in power for 10 years. Huh?
Oh, yes.
You were a senator.
Oh, yes.
You were an overseer.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Our current president was part of that government.
And you know what happened? I'm sure you're speaking from a very informed background.
I am.
Yes.
I'm
so
simply
let us not be theoretical about it.
No. Where I'm going with this, governments are a continuum.
Exactly.
That government of 10 years inherited from the government of a previous 10 years.
Yes.
This government has inherited from a previous 10 years.
Yes.
And you see, even the issue that we're dealing with are a continuum. Now, sometimes when we judge those in power, we don't distinguish. But every government comes with its own new set of misdeeds by which we will judge them, as this government will be misjudged or judged. Now, in order not to make blanket statements and sweeping statements about issues, you see, this conversation we're having, it is so that we don't do that. So that when we speak of something that has happened, which seems not to be what we are accustomed to, what our little understanding of the Constitution is, we say, hey, before we proclaim knowledge on this subject, can we ask somebody who has knowledge to come and tell us? Yeah, so that when we talk about it, we talk from a position of knowledge. You see, President Museveni of Uganda appoints advisors, but he uses the law. There's an Article 172C in the Ugandan Constitution that he uses. Now, I think, if I'm not wrong, he has 142 of them. Okay? Recently, he appointed his son, the general,
to advise him some more.
Yes, he appoints them. Now, you can say all you like. You can say there are many.
You can
but
say he's even
you can say
nepotism.
say what you like. But it is anchored in a law that they have. His constitution allows him that. And there's no cap.
It's good you said his constitution.
Yes.
you know.
So very nice Freudian slip there.
Yes. No. His constitution as in the constitution. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
He oversees his constitution, so it's his constitution.
Yes.
Every citizen of Uganda, it's their constitution.
Oh, yes.
It's something that you own. Now I'm saying my constitution and our constitution. I think you see where I'm going with this.
Oh, yes. And it's also good to...
That is the clarity that we're seeking.
I get you.
Yes.
But it's also good to appreciate the fact that legislations and even constitutions are not static documents, are not cast on stone, they're not made of concrete, they're dynamic. We have emerging issues that come up as a country. We have international relations that now will inform even amending some of our constitution articles in the Constitution. And therefore, a law is a dynamic document. It keeps on improving. And as I said earlier, that this is an opportunity for us to look at the law as it exists and say, okay, having done this, what is now the best way to concretize this idea so that it can have a better output for Kenyans? And therefore, I will want to urge Kenyans to continue giving their views as pertains the matter.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we are keen, our focal attention is focused on making sure that we deliver for the people of Kenya.
Right.
We have a manifesto that we promised Kenyans, and we do not want to be derailed by anything. We will continue focusing. Whether I sit in cabinet or I don't sit in cabinet, I will continue ensuring that the people who have been mandated, who have been given the executive powers, courtesy of our party UDA, are performing. And therefore, my role is much more even outside cabinet.
Okay. So, Senator, and let me just acknowledge our audience on KTN News who've joined this conversation. Our guest this morning is Cleophas Malala, who is the UDA Secretary General and who is also sworn the oath of secrecy to attend cabinet meetings, and that's what we're discussing, that. And I like what you've said. it opens an avenue for that conversation for clarity in law. If there are any lacunas, we make sure that then we have clarity in law. And so the conversation continues. Do you get an allowance for attending those cabinet meetings?
I attend those cabinet meetings as Secretary General of UDA.
So there's no sitting allowance?
I am paid by UDA. The Attorney General, when he attends cabinet, he does not turn into a cabinet secretary. Before he gets in, he's an Attorney General. During the meeting, he's an Attorney General. After he leaves, he's an Attorney General. Before I get into those meetings, I'm the Secretary General for UDA.
Mm-hmm.
While attending, I'm attending as Secretary General for UDA.
Okay.
After I leave, I'm the Secretary General for UDA.
So do you get allowances?
I am not paid by government. I am paid by my party. My party pays me through the political party's fund.
Okay, so let's ask the question differently. When you sit in those meetings, are you paid by UDA to sit in those meetings?
Yes, I am the Secretary General for UDA. I am paid.
So you get a
salary.
sitting allowance?
So you get a
No,
sitting
no, no,
allowance.
I am paid a salary by UDA. You know, it's like you earn a salary.
Yes.
You know, you cannot ask that since I'm doing the morning show, do I get an allowance for doing the morning show? You know,
My
it is in
brother,
my
you
line
were
of
a
duty.
senator just a couple of
moment.
months
It's
ago.
in my line of duty. It's in my line of duty to ensure that the manifesto is implemented. So when I sit there, it is just one of my duties.
So when
As
an
Secretary
MP,
General.
when an MP or a senator is attending a committee session,
Yeah.
are they doing it as part of their job as senator?
Oh yes.
Should they receive a sitting
But
allowance?
recently the SRC removed the,
No, but at the
sitting
time that
allowance,
it was
and you know that.
happening.
When you were a senator, were you?
No. We are talking about the current situation. Now, even now, members of county assemblies, and I pity members of county assemblies who do not get a sitting allowance. Because according to SRC policies, they say that is part of your role.
So why do you pity them?
Yeah, I pity them because their remuneration is one thing. And this must be said. I'm sure not everybody will agree with me, but a member of county assembly is an elected member. When we were conducting elections, Kenyans elected 6 people: a member of county assembly, the MP, the senator, woman rep, president, and all those other cadres. And the level at which we have placed a member of county assembly does not give him the concentration to perform his duties effectively. You can imagine a member of county assembly after deductions earning 50,000 shillings.
86.
No, you see, 86. But one, you've given him a car loan of 2 million to enable him come to work, and that loan, when deducted, around 34 or 40,000 shillings per month, then he remains around 50,000 shillings. That member of county assembly will not be able to perform his duty as enshrined in the constitution, his duties of oversight, representation, because 86,000 does not even allow you to rent a house where the assembly is. And even if you are renting a house, then it's not a decent house. For example, we have vast counties like Nakuru. Nakuru stretches all the way from Naivasha to Nakuru town. So imagine
And
beyond.
beyond.
To the border
But
with
I'm
Rachel.
talking in respect to the county assembly, the building of the county, where they're supposed now to attend their sessions. Imagine an MCA traveling all the way from Naivasha to Nakuru to attend a session and going back to their homes, because they do not have enough money to rent an extra house apart from the house he has
that they live in
the ward.
with a family.
Exactly. So he'll be forced to get some informal settlement somewhere where he pays a bed sitter, I'll say, where he pays 5,000, 10,000. You know, once you take our elected leaders to that level, first of all, they lack the confidence to come and legislate independently. They lack the financial confidence, because now a governor comes in and give them for this budget to pass, come on, I'll take you to a trip to Dubai or somewhere, kindly pass for me this. So they'll be prone to influence, external influence in their decision making. My plea, and this is and you know I've been a member of county assembly before, my plea is that let the Salary and Remuneration Commission do a job evaluation. That for a person who is supposed to legislate as a job,
Yep.
to do oversight, and to do representation, including public participation and whatever, how much is that person supposed to earn? Do a job evaluation for that and give us standard rates for a member of county assembly. When the members of county assembly were campaigning during the previous elections, the salary for MCAs was changed through a gazette notice 3 weeks to the elections.
Yeah.
And these people, most of them, left their previous workstations 6 months ago. They resigned 6 months ago, and they had what we call legitimate expectation. At the point they were resigning to decide...
There was a salary.
Yeah, there was a salary. And at that point, they knew that a member of county assembly will earn this amount.
Yeah.
3 weeks to the elections, when they cannot engage a reverse gear, somebody changes their salary. So even in the law of natural justice, legitimate expectation was interfered with.
Some of the members of the county assembly that we've spoken to also feel let down by the Senate. Now, you moved from a county assembly of Kakamega to the Senate, and you sat there. Do you think senators would play a better role in advocating for the plight of MCAs on these matters of their welfare?
Yeah, Senate would do their role will be limited to advocacy, because I want to believe that
And their voice is loud enough.
yes, and that's why I'm saying just advocacy. But the commission which is entitled and which is mandated to deal with this matter once and for all is the SRC.
That's true.
And to me, my suggestion would have been the members of county assembly have done a petition to the Senate.
Not once, not twice.
Exactly. My suggestion would be, is it possible for the SRC to offer a platform whereby they can listen to the presentations of the members of county assembly, members of the Senate, and all players of devolution? Because, you know, we might be wanting to judge or to put certain, say, measures in terms of salary capping to the MCAs. But we are not doing that at the benefit of this country. We are doing that at the detriment of the devolution, because we are disadvantaging devolution. If we do not have an effective county assembly in a county, we are denting devolution. And therefore, we shouldn't look at that from a personalized point of view. We should look at that from a point of view that we want to strengthen devolution. The members of parliament are earning, say, 800,000. The president is earning around 1.4 million shillings. When you look at the percentage of the salary between the president and the member of parliament, is around 50-something or 41% of the president's salary. When you look at the salary of the governor and that of the MCA, is 11%. Surely, how would you oversight somebody who is earning 10 times more than you're earning?
Indeed. Those are questions that need to be considered.
You actually can oversight very angrily.
It will happen, but how you do it will be a totally different question. I must ask you though, so when will you attend cabinet next?
Cabinet meetings are called in by the Secretary of Cabinet.
Exactly.
And upon invitation of the next cabinet, every cabinet meeting, you are notified.
Okay, so it doesn't go for granted. It's not guaranteed that every subsequent meeting, Cleophas Malala will be in attendance.
The prerogative of the president.
Okay, so in the event that you would attend the next one,
Yes.
whenever you're invited to, what would be your agenda, or do you sit and wait to be called on, or as you said, the scorecard, it's an app or something? You said,
Yeah.
right? You've looked at that, and in preparation, you'll be able to go in and then say, guys, here we've not. What would be the agenda on the next one that you would be invited to?
First of all, cabinet, you are given notice and you are given the agenda
Yes.
in advance. And therefore, in the agenda, we'd be able to look now as a party, what is this that is going to be the input of the party to ensure that whatever they are going to deliberate is enshrined in our manifesto and is being implemented. And therefore, if there is any advice that we are supposed to give as a party, considering the prevailing political circumstances outside there, we will be able now to advise and say, okay, on this particular policy that you want to adopt as cabinet, kindly consider the following aspect of the manifesto to ensure that it's enshrined. Second, we'll also be giving an update to the cabinet on what exactly are people saying pertaining certain decisions of cabinet, and therefore they will be looking at those decisions from a wider scope and not just a microscopic scope of theoretically passing policies that do not go in tandem with the aspirations of the general public. And therefore, we are always there. I'll be always there with the monitoring kit to ensure that we're on course.
With what he's supposed to do. And what is the Prime Cabinet Secretary supposed to do?
He's in the executive. He is in the executive. His role is well defined.
Yes.
That
Which is
to coordinate ministries.
Yes.
Performance contracts.
To ensure that that there is performance.
Exactly.
And also to monitor then the performance. So he's monitoring performance and you're monitoring performance.
No. Mine is coming in from the point of view of the promises that we made politically
as a party. Okay.
We are not interested in the day-to-day running of ministries and coordinating of ministries. The Prime Cabinet Secretary is mandated to run day-to-day coordination of ministries and to ensure that there's performance on day-to-day.
Based on the manifesto?
No, based on whatever.
Of the Kenya Kwanza administration?
No, based on the policies.
The bottom-up economic agenda is the overarching.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So everything that the government is doing is basically looking at the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
Yes.
And so when Musalia Mudavadi and his state departments are actually monitoring the performance of government, are coordinating this, and they are creating a dashboard, they are monitoring against the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Cleopa Malala is doing the same thing.
I'm not doing the same thing. Mine is just a link with whatever they're doing with the political world.
To ensure that whatever they're doing is in tandem with what you promised and what was in your manifesto.
Exactly. That's it.
The day-to-day details
is upon
Prime Cabinet Secretary.
Prime Cabinet Secretary.
Okay.
And there's no duplication of roles whatsoever. Mine is just a reminder.
So essentially you're saying that the Prime Cabinet Secretary is administrative, yours is political.
Oh, yes. I'm just creating a political link to the outside political world.
Okay.
Because many a times we've seen administrations which are blind to what is happening outside there. At the moment, we have political feelings about the finance bill. We are alive of the fact that Kenyans are complaining about the high rise of fuel prices. We are alive of the fact that we have matatu owners who have decided to add 30% of the prices, yet the fuel was added only 8%. Why did they not add only 8%? Why did they add 30%? So that's reality.
So taking that situation,
just a moment. That reality is what I would brief the president. I tell him, come on, these 8% that you added on VAT, the ramifications out there is that now the matatu owners have added, in a distance where we were paying 100 shillings, they have now added to 130 shillings instead of adding 8 shillings. So what can you do as cabinet to regulate and ensure that people do not take advantage of the law that you have passed? The political reality. I'm bringing in a window to the cabinet to be able to see and have a clear vision of what the political reality is out there.
Sounds like you're taking the hustler's voice into cabinet.
Oh, yes.
It's like feedback loop.
Exactly.
All right.
Essentially, is the pulse. Meaning, okay, you guys are doing all these things, but politically, let me just explain to you what's happening. This is what's happening, okay? And this is what's happening. In case you didn't know, this is what's happening. And this is the... So this decision we made, this is how it's being taken. Am I getting you right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Because we are politically accountable to the people. That role, Musalia Mudavadi cannot play it because him is purely administrative, and he's playing it very well, coordinating government, parastatals. But mine is just to provide a loop or a link to the political world. And these will help our president make decisions that are politically favoring the country.
Do you had a question?
No, I was.
Is that the one he has just answered?
Well, because what I was trying to understand was then, so in the situation whereby things are running amok, like you've talked about now, transport going up through crazy, one would assume that those sitting in cabinet can't see, so they would need you to then be able to tell them this is not going right. So you see it in a manner in which they don't, is what I'm trying to establish here.
Oh, yes, because my role is, because I lead a political vehicle, I interact with the political class every day.
Yeah.
That is why I do the voter, the
National
membership
grassroots
drives,
because I interact with the day-to-day political environment. And therefore I can be able now to feel and give feedback to the people who are making those policies. You'll find that some ministries are making, some policies are interrelated. And at the time you are making a decision in your ministry, you do not know the consequence when that decision, when now brought in between,
When it's implemented.
you do not know that the implications. And therefore, I'm just coming to bring in feedback
Right.
to the cabinet so that they can make a good decision moving forward.
Okay. Let me ask, from your barometer, the pulse, what are Kenyans currently most happy about?
I think Kenyans are happy about the focus that government has taken when it comes to ensuring that, first of all, we are committed to touching on issues that affect Kenyans on day-to-day running. Like one of the issues that Kenyans are happy about is our focus on farming. Ensuring that we have food security in our country, because we've had, these past days, we've had very, very bad days when the cost of living and the cost of food was very high due to shortage of food. And therefore, we do not want to do that again. You've seen government ensuring that it invests in the production of enough food in this country.
Okay.
One, it has given subsidized fertilizer. Two, we are giving adequate information to farmers. Like recently, you've been told that we are going to experience, and then the weather forecasters showed us that we're going to experience an El Nino, maybe from September moving forward. And therefore, farmers are warned that, come on, what can we do to ensure that we mitigate the post-harvest losses?
Okay. So on the
And
agriculture
therefore-
front, Kenyans are happy.
And we are trying, and we are going to experience a bumper harvest.
What else are Kenyans
Limited.
happy about?
Second, Kenyans are happy with how the president is focused on fighting corruption. You've seen the KEMSA, the people who tried mishandling KEMSA. The president was very, very, very straightforward in dealing with that matter. He, first of all,
Disbanded the board?
exactly, and ensured that we have an active case through the independent prosecutory organs to look into that matter. Third, there is sanity in government. You can see a government which is clearly cut out and is focused to deliver.